Hey guys, welcome back to Raid Shadow Legends. In today's video, I wanted to give you guys a bit of an account update. I've gone and semi-built the new nut that I pulled, and we are managing to 3-key ourselves through the Ultra Nightmare. We're going to jump in and see if we can 1-key the Nightmare, but the Nightmare is the worst element for me for the moment. But, you know, let's see how we can go in there, because the ideal place that I really want to get to is being able to clear, to get max chest on Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare. Now, I'll walk you guys through. I want to show you guys, first of all, what my Ultra Nightmare team was. So if we go over here and take a look at this, this was the screenshot of the team, my damage from my last run. This is a full auto run. It was Spirit Element, which is pretty much neutral for mine. It does help my Tagoar a little bit. But besides that, you know, it's pretty much like neutral. Spirit is a little bit annoying because it has the speed slow as well. But this was the run. As you can see, my Supreme Gallic is just built different. And he's got Brimstone. So he's at 5 soul. So he is absolutely monstering my damage. I have got I'll show you my scuffed build for my nut. You can see he was doing good damage, but like he's only dealing twice as much damage as Fayne, which, you know, really ain't that crazy, to be honest. So I've got a lot of room for growth in this nut, and hopefully I can get myself towards a 2-key eventually down here in the Ultra Nightmare, which makes things a lot smoother if I need to in the Nightmare. Now, normally when you go into the Ultra Nightmare as well, people are playing a lot more for survivability. I've got my if we jump over into the account here, I do have my 2 ally protectors ready to go and built and 6-starred and mastered and everything. My problem was during the last free gear removal, I've got Skull Crusher here, and I've also got old mate Jareg over here. Now ignore the Skull Crusher being on the whatchamacallit, the Relentless set. That was just because I gave up on the double protection. The problem with double ally protectors, you've got to speed tune precisely your entire team for it. And like, if you look at my Supreme Gallic, bro's at 255 speed, and it makes him so good in all the other content. I don't want to gimp his speed just to be able to do the Ultra Nightmare. And so now that I'm getting towards that place of being able to 3-key Ultra Nightmare, I'm happy to wait and then eventually build a specific DPS solely for the Ultra Nightmare, then look to build my double ally protect team that is fully speed synced and stuff like that. But for the current state, I just think it's too much to give up on the account when I can already get max chest, even if it has to be 4 keys on the Ultra Nightmare. So that's kind of where my thought process is at. I want to show you guys the nut build that I've got at the moment. You can see it's a pretty scuffed build. His accessories are pretty bad as well. I mean, this one's not bad, you know, 9 speed, 11 defense on the accuracy for 5-star. This one's pretty bad. This one's pretty bad. This one's not too bad, you know, the 12% defense with defense main stat on a 6-star. It ain't too bad. You know, the boots, they're 5-star, nothing crazy. This was used to be on my Gallic till I made a mythic one. This one was only a blue with 12 speed, rolled crit damage as well. This one had a bit of speed. These gloves are actually really nice. These gloves, really, really fast. 3 rolls into the speed was super nice on these ones with the crit rate, so I slapped them on. And then this one here. So with his gear set, I basically just put gear on him that I didn't have equipped to anyone, because I didn't want to use any silver removing gear. So he's sort of in the leftover gear. I do think I could probably form a better build for him, but that is where the nut is currently at. If I could get a soul for him, that would be really nice to get that extra HP, because he's a little bit squishy on HP whilst having obviously a lot of defense. But that is his current build. We do have the masteries done as well. We've got the masteries all the way down to Giant Slayer. So, you know, that's what we need there. You'll see most of my characters are missing the extra 2 tier 6s. I might go through and farm them at the moment, because we do have the bonus points for the CVC at the moment, at the time of recording this, where I could go ahead and get some extras over there. The other thing for my clan boss team, you can see my Fayne is not very well built. Everything's plus 12s except some 5-star boots. She can definitely get tankier. I need her tankier ideally, because she always dies and she's the weak link. So I need to get her tankier. I also need to get Deacon tankier. You know, he's on a flat HP here, HP percent there. You know, I can definitely upgrade these guys, but the thing with Deacon is he's also on a set that's meant to be my fastest, so he's at that 259 speed. So I got to finesse this, but definitely getting those 2 tankier would definitely help my my clan boss team and my damage over there. Like I said, the ideal situation is to eventually get towards the situation where I can just 2-key Ultra Nightmare, and then I can probably 1-key Nightmare and see how we go. But let's jump in. And I'm just going to burn 100 gems just for the sake of the video because now is the time that I have to record. And you can see here, this is the team. Now, before I was doing this, I was, I'm not going to drop him out. I was using Skull Crusher instead of Nut for some, extra defensive capabilities to push me later into the game. That is the team that I got my first 1 key clear with in this one. And that's how I do have the quick battle. We're going to watch this battle to see how it goes. Now, obviously, Magic, my 2 main debuffers and one of my main damage dealers are all Spirit. So this is going to suck. But if we can do this, we should maybe be okay. Now, before I had Skull Crusher as well, I was using the Mausoleum Mage, and I was able to clear Nightmare with the Mausoleum Mage in there, which ended up being full free units when the Supreme 6 Gallic code, and then the rest were just my download link units, and they were able to do absolutely everything that I needed in Nightmare to get the max chest. Now, that was not a 1 key, obviously. I believe with the Mausoleum Mage, I was doing it at 2 to 3 keys before I started upgrading my team and stuff like that. But let's jump in. Let's take a look at this, see how we go. If I can do a 1 key here, I would be super happy because that would be the worst affinity possible, and being able to do a 1 key would be huge. As you can see, we go ahead and straight away we miss the death break. We only do 290,000 damage with Nut's skill 3, which is really bad. We miss the dots. Yeah, this is gonna absolutely suck. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to accept the fact that I'm not really gonna do much when it is magic affinity, unless I get super lucky. We missed the death break again. We did hit the weaken, but yeah, not landing death breaks is really kind of sucky, but maybe we can do some more. The other thing is my team is really fast. So obviously with the double ally protect team, or with any of the other like longevity teams, normally you're a bit slower and speed tuned. I just completely gave up on the idea of speed tuning at all in this and just went, okay, faster characters equals easier game in most aspects, so I'm going to make faster characters. That was literally my entire logic, because like for things like, let's see this. Yeah, see, that was only like 500,000 damage from Nut. That's pitiful. But, oh, now he's punching her? What? Punch Gallic, yeah, I've really got to do some work on my my Fayne and Deacon builds, but it is what it is. But yeah, like my Supreme Gallic, when I was farming some masteries, broken just completely solo Minotaur 15, like easy clap. He's not even on lifesteal. He doesn't need it. He just kills things that fast. And obviously at 255 speed or whatever he is, he just laps. So I really don't want to be gimping my team for that sake of that. Now, not use your skill 3, please. Yes. Okay, yeah, that was about 500,000 again. Oh, this damage really hurts. On the Ultra Nightmare, Nut was doing anywhere from, on a neutral element in Ultra Nightmare, Nut's skill 3 for me was doing anywhere from like 700,000 to 900,000. And obviously he's on a pretty scuffed build still. Like I need to get more crit damage on the guy. I need to get more defense on the guy. I just really need to upgrade my Nut. But once again, I didn't want to go ahead and swap that stuff around so early on. Yeah, there's no way we're 1-keying this. Dude, my Ultra Nightmare in 5 turns is higher damage than this. So yeah, the magic's burning me. I guess it's not a bad thing that we went ahead and used 100 gems to do it, because that gives us the extra key. So now we'll be 2-keying the Nightmare and 3-keying the Ultra Nightmare today. It is what it is. But let's, you know what? I'm gonna cut. We'll come back close to the end, and we'll see how we actually go here. Yep, as you guys can see, absolute failure, and this is the problem when you don't build a affinity neutral team. Maybe we come back from here. We've got no way to get the leech on board though, because he pounded Deacon, and now we're not going to land an attack buff before he attacks, so we're kind of just dead to this. There you go, 25, dude. The element makes so much of a difference, yeah. So unable to do pretty much anything there, especially when you consider this was the Ultra Nightmare auto team at 31.66. So I definitely think on neutral element, we should be okay here. So the idea for me would be, ideally, is get to a world where I can do Ultra Nightmare in 2 keys. At the moment, I can do 2 keys with, you know, around that 30 million damage, and then the last key only has to be about 10 million damage, because we only need to get to 70. So at the moment, I'm pretty happy with that, because I can use 2 keys at the start of the day when it just comes out, before it gets to 50% HP. Then when it drops, even if it does go to Magic Affinity, I should be able to do that 10 million damage to get it done. But then I'm going to be relying on what element is the Nightmare. The ideal world is I get towards doing this in in a 2 key instead of the 3 key, so that then I have 2 keys to use on the Nightmare, which I can then 2 key it if it goes to Magic. That would be the ideal world, but once again, you know, maybe if we just get to the point where we're doing 2 keys on Ultra Nightmare on the Void Affinity, who cares what it goes to, and then, you know, we got a 66% chance that Nightmare is going to be one that we can probably go ahead and 1 key. So that's kind of where we're at. Just wanted to give you guys an update with the account. I was pretty happy that we managed to do that. Once again, the Nut is definitely still a work in progress. He needs a lot of boosting, but at least he's just a massive unit for your account. Like, the dude is just an absolute monster. The one on my other account is much better. Hits way harder, but you know, we'll progress him through. We will get him up there. If was he at 35k power? If he was at 84k power like this man, like, we would be dominating the world. But hey, we will get there over time. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.